UK woman has been sentenced to at least 23 years in prison after she killed and dismembered a housemate who rejected her advances. The incident occurred on the 16th of April last year. Greta Gordon and Phoenix Netz, both 28 years of age, had been living at a refuge together in Birmingham in the Lozells area for around 6 months. Phoenix's bedroom was at the front of the building and on the first floor. Greta wanted an intimate relationship with Phoenix, and she became aggressive and demanded action from her, but her advances were spurned by Phoenix, who became very frightened and told her she was moving back to London. Greta was diagnosed with personality disorder as well as post-traumatic stress disorder and couldn't handle rejection very well. Infuriated, she grabbed a knife and stabbed Phoenix 4 times. Phoenix was left seriously injured but still alive. Phoenix's phone was used by Greta to make internet searches such as how to fix a punctured lung, internal bleeding, and can someone recover from getting stabbed between 1:04 p.m. and 3:07 p.m. later that day. An autopsy later revealed that Phoenix would have survived the attack if she received prompt medical attention. Instead, Greta let Phoenix die from her injuries with no medical assistance after hours had passed. She then purchased a circular saw on Gumtree for £45, which was delivered to her the following day just before 11 a.m. While in the victim's room, she used the saw to dismember her body into 6 different parts. She then organised a taxi to take her to and from the Forest of Dean in Gloucestershire on 4 separate occasions to dispose of Phoenix's remains. The first time was on the 25th of April, when she asked to be dropped off at a campsite where she had 2 suitcases with her. 3 further trips took place between the 10th and the 12th of May. On the last occasion, Greta asked to be dropped off at the gates of the quarry so she could dump 2 large suitcases containing Phoenix's remains. Greta used the camp nearby where Phoenix's remains were kept and were doused in petrol and set alight and later placed in the suitcases to dispose of. At 10:30 p.m. that night, the police were initially investigating the taxi that was parked close to the quarry for breaching COVID-19 restrictions, being in an isolated zone. They then came across Greta standing alone by the quarry at 11:05 p.m. Police body cam captures footage of officers confronting Greta in the Forest of Dean. Close by were 2 large suitcases that smelt burnt. Greta tries to hamper the efforts of the officers to open the suitcases and warns she'll be charged with obstruction if she doesn't get out of the way. Officers then find Phoenix's charred torso and other dismembered remains inside, and she was taken into custody. Detectives retraced Greta's steps to uncover the lengths she went to conceal her roommate's murder. CCTV footage outside the refuge captures her dragging Phoenix's dismembered body in a suitcase. She was seen buying cleaning supplies and a sleeping bag in a shop. Police who later searched the victim's room found it to be very clean, only to discover that Greta had organised a waste disposal company to collect Phoenix's possessions, including the carpet, bed and clothing. She also used Phoenix's phone to send messages to her family, telling them that she's fine and she'll be back in London soon. She also searched for things like, does the dismembered body stink, and why did killers get caught? She even looked at buying acid to dispose of the remains, as well as how to set fire to the body, so she could never be identified as responsible for this horrific crime. Greta pleaded guilty to murder on the 21st of April. On the 4th of May, she was sentenced to 23 years in prison. A Texas woman was deliberately struck down and killed by her son outside a Pinchy Tex-Mex restaurant in Katy early Thursday and has been charged with her death. The incident occurred at around 1 a.m. on the 6th of May when a fight started inside the eatery and spilled out into the car park located at 1230 North Mason Road. Investigators said that 20-year-old Homero Lopez intentionally drove into a group of people in the parking lot, which included his mother, 35-year-old Crystal Gomez, and at least 2 others. Gomez was rushed to the hospital but succumbed to her injuries a short time later. Homero fled the scene, but he returned a short time later where the authorities arrested him. Lopez is charged with murder and 2 counts of failure to stop and render aid. Deputies said they're looking at a nearby surveillance video footage as they investigate the incident.